Okay.
Hi, Stephanie.
Oh, yes, good. I was wondering why it took a while. Very good. Hey, how you doing today?
Well, as usual, not much.
Huh?
As usual,
Yeah, what happened?
nothing really happened.
You look a bit drowsy.
No, just I just woke up. I
Oh, you
had
just
a
woke
nap
up, eh?
in the afternoon. Yeah,
It's your evening and you just woke up.
yeah,
So you took a very long noon nap.
not really. I took it for an hour. It took an hour.
Oh, it's totally understandable, staying home all day for a period of time, you do get sluggish. I know the feeling. Yeah. Eh? So yeah, maybe this way better than you feel like I'm looking at you. Very good. Right. So this is safari style today. Because I'm staying home nearly all day, every day. I do go out. I try to go out every night
Yeah,
to have an evening walk. But it's kind of difficult to feel like you're actually, is that feeling Groundhog Day? Do you know that?
uh,
Uh,
yeah.
let me share my screen. Yes. Groundhog Day. It's a movie called Groundhog Day, but also is a famous thing. It repeats over and over again. There. Do you know this movie?
Yeah, I know.
You watched it.
Okay.
So this guy, he wakes up every morning, pretty much the
Yeah,
same time, and same thing happens over and over and over again, nonstop. So always the same day, always the same time, always the same thing, always the same people. But eventually he decides to do something different. Yeah, so we're not going to talk about the movie, but this is the concept. It's a feeling of another Groundhog Day, when you have to stay home like this, especially because I have been through this since the end of March, early April. So that's a holiday break for my son's school holiday, and pandemic, excuse me, worsened very seriously. So the whole nation had to be locked down. So our lockdown started since then, and the restriction was lifted. Well, actually, not long ago, just recently. So I'll count the 1, 2, 3 lockdowns together as a 500 days lockdown, and is a 500 days Groundhog Day period for me. So every morning it's the same thing. Get up, brush up, wash your face, and sorry, flies, and prepare breakfast, and then get them ready and get myself ready, and then sit down for work and talk to different people. That's a blessing. So then it won't feel like the same group of people, but still different people. That's a blessing out of the disaster. Yeah. Right. Sorry, I forgot to use this. Let's put this up. There you go. Good. So how was your Groundhog Day over this summer?
it's like I woke up and then prepare my breakfast, then maybe watching Netflix or playing a little bit piano, then having my lunch, then maybe have a nap, have a nap,
Do you take a nap
and
every day?
yeah, and yeah, then having English classes, and that's all every day.
So it's gonna be a tremendous change after you get back to the school. So can you tell
Yes,
me your
definitely.
lifestyle in the school?
You mean my schedule after I go to school?
Yeah, so your school lifestyle. Can you imagine?
Oh. Oh my God, it's so busy.
So when you
Um,
become a junior, what's gonna happen? Have you chosen your major subjects?
no, I didn't. I didn't choose other major subject. It is still nursing, and I think that maybe because I have some I told my friend that we are going to have an hangout and we are going to bar when the semester starts. Like we want to have some drink or something else like that. Relax um because it will be very
Wait,
tough.
you're not gonna be a junior. You're gonna be a sophomore, or
Yeah,
you are a
yeah.
sophomore. Oh, okay.
I'm
Right.
a sophomore.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, just I we plan to go to bar when the semester starts. So it is quite busy and recently my friends also plan to have a picnic with me. So yeah, a lot of friend gatherings. Well, I think the academic in school will be very harsh uh, because it is sophomore, of course, and there's other things I have to learn again. Yeah.
So
Uh,
as an intake, you joined what is that? 辅仁 again last year. So it's been whole year. So far, how much do you like it in that university?
maybe four actually.
So
Four.
like we say out of 10, how much do you like it?
Maybe seven out of 10.
So what about the three not so satisfying?
Well, because my medical school is at the end of my campus. So every time if I'm going to be late for school, then it always take me like 15 minutes to get my medical school. But like student in other departments such as foreign languages department, they just need to walk for maybe 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to get
Hmm.
there. So it is quite far, far from. So the medical school is quite far from the place where I live. So
So it takes a while to get there.
yeah, exactly.
It's a good thing to walk.
Not really for student who is going to be late.
I mean, not enjoyable, but it's necessary to kind of, use that as a natural way to exercise without intentionally arranging time to do that. Okay, squats time, you're just living your life, and by walking you're actually doing exercising. It's not bad. And actually, if you fancy coming to the UK or going to the States, to New York for your further medical study, you have to get used to it, because the land here is much bigger than Taiwan.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, right. So last year, 2020, you became an intake of Furen, and then this year you're gonna be sophomore to suffer more. I like the name. Who gave that second year? That's a very nice name. And next year, September, and then I'm just calculating your days before you start your application. So that means by September 2024. No, not September. As long as you don't YMB, right?
Maybe I will.
Was it June? June. Yeah, June. Usually mid-June, you should be graduating. I mean, normally, or the end of June. So 2024, and you will be 22-year-old.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, lovely age, so young. Oh, you're not even 40% of my age.
Yeah.
Right, good. All right, so what do you want to talk about today? Is our free talk day. We always do that, but just the whole lesson, I have nothing, nothing restricting me to have to go back to a page or whatever. So it's great. And so what would you like to talk about today?
Hmm. I know. I'm just be free to talk. I have no idea what
Usually 7 o'clock is your time because it's other people's dinner time. You have a dinner earlier, right?
Yeah,
Usually,
before
right.
6.
And let's find something from here if you can come up with anything. Randomly choose. What about that? What is that? Restaurant. Okay. Should we talk about restaurant? You can introduce some nice restaurants. I have left Taiwan for so many years, and it's the 8th year this year. Then in a few years it will be 10 years. It's long enough to. I would never forget the beauty of Taiwan and the nice food, but just changes happen every day. I would always want to know more about what's new in Taiwan. So is there anything new like in Hsinchu? That's where you're very familiar with, or Furen is in Taipei?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Taipei.
Yeah. So any new restaurants you want to recommend me?
Well, I have no idea if there's new restaurant be opened in my hometown in Hsinchu, but every time when it comes to restaurant, it reminds me McDonald's. Yeah,
The
every time I
fast
don't know what
food,
I'm going to
fast
eat,
food,
then
fast food.
okay, yeah, let's go to McDonald's. It is um it is the easiest way when you don't know what you are going to eat. And I have to say the McDonald's in Taiwan is really brilliant. Yeah.
Well, for me, maybe the definition of restaurant, it means delicacy. Yeah,
Yeah.
either very localized or westernized or international. But that is just for me, it's a fast food store. You go in,
Yeah.
take out, or sit down, have a bite. Don't feel the art of that food, honestly. So it's like a global food vendor, but
Yeah.
with a modernized store design and a big charisma and attraction to young kids. So that is the most famous, yes. But I know that we've got that here too. Anything new?
Well, another things I think it is like in Taiwan there is more and more restaurant and its meals and it is for people who want to be fit, who want to lose their weight. Like um yeah. I mean um like there's a lot of not a lot, but there are some restaurants surrounded by my school, and there's and they provide some meal for people who want to lose their weight. Yeah,
So
like
it's not that beneficial for those who want to get on a diet, right?
yeah,
Because it's
but
fatty.
yeah, just like the food they provide, it is really like very simple. Like yeah, I uh,
So
I
like
mean like
TSLT,
no sensitivity.
Now that.
know that. It's
So
just
that's deep fried
dim sum.
Taiwanese chicken nugget. But that's so nice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tried to copy that, you know. I tried to do that home style deep fried Taiwanese fried chicken, and I mean, especially that chicken nugget thing. And I think I did success once or twice. But the thing is, my cooking style has never been consistent enough to always produce the same food when it succeeds. So like
Yeah.
the very first time of making xiao long bao, I did it, and amazingly I did it without anyone's help. But the problem is I tried the second and the third and the fourth time, nothing worked. I used the same recipe, and I used, you know, a tiny kitchen scale, but everything was the same, but the outcome just different.
Yeah.
So so my best friend here is Maria, my son's good friend's mom, Thomas's mom. And so Maria, she had the first one I made, and she said, "That's so lovely. That's one of my favorite Chinese food. Can you make that again?" I said, "I've been trying, but unfortunately it's been a while. I tried a few times. Every attempt failed." Exactly the same thing. I don't know why. The same cooker, same cook, same recipe. Just I have no talent cooking, so that's a problem. And but even 咸酥鸡 should be something not that difficult. You know, just chop it up, marinate it, and wrap it with batter.
Yeah.
Batter 那个叫什么？外面会炸起来
那
砰脆脆的那个东西，面皮不是面皮，面皮变成蛋饼的东西，right? Yeah, batter. Yeah, batter. 哦，面糊，is it? Kind of, but it's very, very, very liquidy. 很多水的。So when you dip it and when you take it to fry, it becomes crispy. So it's not that kind of yeah. Oh, just like, you know, fish and chips.
Yeah.
And so it's just like that. I mean, the skin is crispy. Or it's a like Kentucky Fried Chicken, the fried chicken drum. That's a batter skin. That's crispy. I know how to do that. I have succeeded one thing. Yeah, that's something I can be very proud of. I can make something similar to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Wow.
Although it still looks different every time, but the taste itself is a little similar. I think I have found the recipe, and that is a rare success I have. So so my son orders KFC, homemade KFC.
Yeah.
Once every other week or so. Yeah, not bad. And so have you ever tried? Have you ever tried to make anything deep fried?
No.
So you have never ever tried?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I think because like first I don't have any tools to make deep fried. Another reason is like because I'm having diet and it is too oil. It is
Too oily.
Yeah.
Do you mean the food, the taste is too oily? Or, you know, on your fingers, you feel very greasy?
yeah.
So that means troublesome.
Yeah, especially for girls. And recently I'm just trying to lose some of my fat, like organ fat and the fat in my body because it is too high that I may I may have some I don't know, just like cardiovascular disease, something like that.
What is that?
Cardiovascular disease.
So
Right.
cardio, something to do with your heart?
Yeah, because of like
Cardio. Can you read that again? Cardio something?
cardiovascular.
Disease.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's one word, it's not two words. Oh, I didn't know that this one. Right, because you're a medical student, so you know a lot of terminologies. Yeah,
Yeah.
medical terms. Do you enjoy it? I don't mean the
Not
disease.
really.
I mean, do you enjoy knowing a lot of terminologies?
Not really. Because you have to memorize a lot, and which is a little bit. I mean, it takes a lot of time to memorize these. So yeah,
So is it
it's
difficult to memorize those words?
not really. Just divide the word into two words. Cardio means heart, vascular means blood. Blood, the vein and artery.
Vein.
Yeah, vein or artery.
Yeah, so it's an adjective.
Yeah.
So it's to do with vein. Right. Well, but I think it's a very popular, I mean, it's a very common disease in everywhere, isn't it? Because the food style of around the world is just so fatty, so oily.
Yeah, so therefore, a lot of like nowadays in Taiwan, there's a lot of restaurant which provide simple food. We called it 健身餐. 健身.
健身, you mean like gym exercise?
Yeah, like 健身餐
I
because
really didn't
it
know that.
is
That's new to me.
yeah, because
So,
like
for example, in Hsinchu, do you have a typical one to recommend?
yeah, it is called 无忧无虑. No oil and no worry. Don't worry about it.
So it's a kind of
无忧无虑.
fitness meal.
Yes, it is fit. And
So that's something new to me then. Fitness meal. So it's like a, a, a meal that's designed especially for getting you healthier.
yes, exactly.
So this one, healthy fitness meal. It looks that's the first one. Still looks very fatty. Healthy eating and fitness recipes for the whole family. Yeah, this is this is the dilemma. When you have growing kids in your family and you surely want to provide all nutritious food with, the protein and nutrients they need, sometimes it means a little fatty somehow. And yet you have somebody overweight in your house, or somebody who's who doesn't really fancy meat, like a vegetarian. That is kind of difficult, quite awkward. You have to prepare all different sorts of dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me it's all right. Yeah, it's not too difficult here, but I'm just imagine a position like that, cooking for all different needs, all different dietary needs. That is a vegetarian. No, it's not like something like meat there. So what is your recommendation?
Well, my recommendation is a restaurant called 无忧无虑.
That's a very interesting name.
There
无忧
有那个
无虑。
三点
Eh,
水的
there.
冰,
So this is a famous restaurant.
yeah,
第便当. Hey, that is simplified. We don't use simplified Chinese. We use traditional Chinese. So that is, do they have their,
yeah, Facebook.
right, so let's try their Facebook. Wow, what a slogan. We don't sell bento. This is Japanese, but we call that,
Yeah.
that's lunchbox or dinner
Yeah.
box here. But we call that, we use Japanese name, bento. We have a famous store called Bento.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, in London, King's Cross. London 国王十字车站. Yeah, King's Cross. That's like our Taipei Central train station. 台北
北车，台北车站。
好像有个中央不是吗？台北中央车站。Do we have that?
现
No,
在好像没有中央，就大家都
can't remember. I just remember the big one. Yeah, jumbo one. Right. And do they have a website? They don't have website. Yeah, I couldn't find their website. Website. It's still Facebook. They don't have a website. Right. So what is good about them?
well the food they sold is much more simple than food we usually.
Yeah. So I'm trying to understand the content they provide. It looks like an egg, but why is that so small? There. Right. So that's, oh, what is that? 丝瓜, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and cucumber, lemon, meat.
Yeah.
So it's not purely vegetarian, but it's quite vegan, right?
Not actually, but it provides a lot of vegetable, and the rice is
The purple
Mhm.
rice.
yeah, purple rice. So
Mm.
it contains more fiber.
So and it's quite herbal, is it?
Yeah, probably, but they also provide meat.
Also, they do provide meat.
Yeah, the top one is meat. The top of the rice is meat.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to read that. Oh, oil burden free. That's cute, right? And so that's meat, I think. Pork, pork chop,
Pork.
chop, right? 猪排.
Yeah.
Pork chop. Oh yeah, I so miss Taiwan. The pork chop, the deep fried pork chop.
Yeah, especially Japanese
猪
deep
排. Oh,
fried.
and we also put some gravy on it.
Yeah.
So it's not dry, it's juicy, but yet the flavor is so, well, I think it's because they marinate it, right? So when they marinate it, maybe like overnight, and the flavor goes into the fiber, the meat fiber. So when you fry it, the juice and the gravy would be sealed inside. And I'm not really good at cooking, especially beef. I'm okay with chicken, with fish, with pork. Not really good at cooking red meat. I tried my very first time in this 7 years, just a week ago, cooking lamb. And lamb, or say mutton. T-T-O-N. Bantan. It's translated that into bantan. Yeah, so I bought a lamb chop, and I managed to make it tender, and I am still not so sure how I succeeded. This is a problem. Even if succeeded, I have to figure out why. Then I can try to copy. But that one, actually, just like the fried chicken drum, it took me many times, and finally I found a way to get it pretty much the same thing every time. Not exactly the same, but similar. But this is tricky. It actually is a bit fishy, you know. The taste itself is fishy. So I'm still not quite sure how to get rid of that fishy taste. But the texture itself, it was good. I mean, the first time I cooked it, very nice, very tender. It's tender. And but the definition of tenderness in this house from my husband is different than mine and my son's. We're so used to the tender meat in Taiwan. And Taiwanese cooking concept for meat tenderness is it has to be from fresh meat. You cook it and you don't overcook it. You don't leave it to simmer for too long. Mun or stew. Stew. You don't stew that for too long. 熬煮. And it, not 卤肉酱, you know, that's a very different thing. That's minced pork meat sauce, different thing. And like, I like chicken very tender, so I like it to be cooked from raw, which means you're risking to probably still see some blood if you're not controlling the time well enough. But you can put it back again for another few minutes to get it all cooked, but still tender, right? But my husband thinks that tenderness for him is meat falling off the bones. That is still quite different than my definition. I like it to be very juicy and tender, but still on the bone, because that tenderness is different. For me, that is none. But for my husband, his tenderness to me is lan. You know the difference? Both are
Yeah.
very soft, but tenderness and, well, my tenderness is so different from his. And he likes to roast chicken every week, especially over the weekend. And his roast chicken always ends up very, well, yes, very nice skin. I have to say the skin is just so nice, crispy. But not the meat. The meat is so dry because he likes to use low heat. When you roast this chicken, how can you use low heat? When you use a very low heat, it does get cooked, but the tenderness is gone. Because yes, the meat will fall off the bone. So that is like, you know, grandpa chicken. They don't have teeth, they swallow. It's mushy. No, that's not my type of chicken. I like it to be put into chicken soup and boil it from 0 and up to 100 degrees. And when it's boiling, switch it off and put it in there for another two, maybe an hour or so. And it's still tender and it's all cooked. Inside is all cooked too. But for him, it's totally different. He always uses super low heat. If there are 10 blocks for the temperature indicator, the controller, I switch it to the highest, to 100, to 10.
Yeah.
He uses 1. You know the difference? It takes half a day to cook a whole chicken his way, but it's trouble-free. Yeah, you just leave it there. I don't mind the trouble. I like to check on my chicken from time to time and just make sure that it's perfectly, cooked the way with the gravy inside, instead of all very dried. And it's so hard to describe. It's not really totally dry. 那个干实在是涩. Yes. So the dryness from his chicken is not like it doesn't have any more gravy, 肉汁, but it still has it inside, but not as much as mine. Mine is when you bite it, it spits out. That's the tenderness I want. I don't like blood, honestly, I don't. But I like it very tender and the meat is still rather pinky. So like Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's all right. That's good for me. But I just, you have Wendy, 21st century, right? 21世纪. You still
Yeah.
have that, the whole chicken.
Yeah.
That's the tenderness I want. You see, you can
Exactly.
easily take the chicken drum or chicken leg off it, but it's still, the gravy still drips and the skin is crispy. That's the tenderness I want. We don't have it here. We don't.
No.
You have Costco.
Yes, we have
You know the
Costco.
Costco, the grill machine. You can
Yeah.
see hundreds of chicken rolling inside.
Yeah.
And the color changes in time, and you can just sit there for half an hour, wait for it, or just do your shopping and then come back and it's all done. And they wrap it up bag by bag, and is it $100 NT?
I'm not sure about that, but yeah, maybe.
It was a kind, but so many years now, maybe 150 or so. And I don't mind. That's really nice. And everything here is at least triple the price. Even a raw chicken would be triple the money you have to pay in Taiwan. So usually cheapest one would be about £3.99. £3, so we say £4. £4 times about 40, so about 150 NT for a raw chicken, not a cooked, not a ready product. So if it's all cooked, it will be at least doubled, like 5 to 6 pounds at least. So that's about 200 to 250 for one. But we still say that's a cheap one. But if you go to a restaurant to have a proper meal served, right in front of you, oh, that's gonna be over 10 pounds. Well, I can tell you one thing, like 牛肉面 here. We have Chinese restaurants here, very small. Owners are mainly from China or Hong Kong. And my favorite one is called Cambridge Cafe. 很好笑的名字 Cafe. It's a cafe, but it's a Chinese restaurant. Sell both Western British food and Chinese food. And they're what is that, like 鱼香茄子饭?
Oh.
Like 7 to 8 pounds. So it's just a small bowl of the dish, and also another one, egg fried rice. So that's 2 bowls like this much, and they charge you about 7 to 8 pounds, nearly 8 pounds. So 8 pounds would be like, okay, 300 块 for 2 small balls. Can you imagine that? But that is still cheap. That is still cheap here because it's a small Chinese restaurant. If you go to a proper one, would be over 10, 12 pounds. It's 所以英国的消费很贵的啦。So you gotta remember before you come over, you gotta save up. You need to save up. Oh yeah, talking about this, are you earning any money now?
No. I
yet.
didn't have
Not-
any part.
So no time for any part-time jobs.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Well, I'm not sure about that because like my parents want me to focus on my academic. So yeah, perhaps they don't want me to have any part-time job.
That's totally understandable from the parents' point of view. They want you to be focused. And so do you have any pocket money?
Yeah.
Hope you don't mind me ask. I'm a mom, so I'm just asking. So you have your pocket money, right?
Yeah, I have pocket money.
So do they like provide pocket money periodically, or you have to win an award or reach to like A+ or something, then you get, something like a reward?
My dad.
Something like that.
My dad after I go to college, my dad gives me pocket money every month. Yeah. And sometimes when I had my birthday, my grandma also will give me pocket money. So this month.
So that's nice. And well, I know a lot of kids, like because I started to work in my early, oh, I think my first part-time job, that was a summer part-time job. I went to a factory with my brother, yeah, to help out for my family finance, because it was quite tough on my dad, and he's the only one he's the breadwinner. So he had to, well, he was a full-time military soldier, and so he was how do you call that, a private, 那个二等兵 all his life. Yeah, so that means the lowest rank in the military for all his life, many decades, because he was not educated in the school well enough to be promoted, so he had to be the seniorest private. 最资深的老 I think maybe not private. I think, I'm not really sure. I have to search my memory. I think he was kind of promoted up to a certain level, but really low rank still. So let me look for that. And that's he was let me look for it. There are so many ranks. So he's not a sergeant, he's not there. Okay, so there are, he's not a corporal. Was he? I think my dad was a master sergeant, 士官长. He was a corporal. 叫什么东西 So private 上去 corporal 是二等兵上去上兵 I'm not familiar with military things, so let me check. The lowest one, right? So he was a private for years, and then yeah, I found some here. Maybe these could be a good reference. All right, forgot to give you this. He was the only breadwinner in my family. So 面包 no, doesn't give you that, right? Breadwinner. No. 怎么讲嘞? The only one who's getting income to support a family. Yeah. 供养家庭的人。哦，养家活口的人。经济支柱啦，经济支柱。This is a much better name. 经济支柱. Yes. So he was the only breadwinner because my mom was not around for, the religious reasons. So, and my dad had to raise me and my brother, and we two were just two years away from each other. And so he's two years older than me. And my dad, I remember when I was a little one, very, very little, like preschool age, kindergarten. And my brother was like my little mom. He's the one taking care of me, preparing food and meal when he was only little, but I was even littler. When I was 3, he was 5. So when I was 5, he was 7, right? So he is a little one who needed support for that age, and he was taking care of me already. So we were kind of not forced. We had to grow up very quickly. Yeah, and we started to work when we were in junior high. So probably 国二, the second year of junior high school. And so he was junior, nearly graduate that time. And we went to a factory over summer to do some sticker job. That's a desk lamp, and we have to paste a round sticker base onto the lamp. 台灯的底座 the whole summer to get small money, and we didn't use it at all. We submitted every single penny to my dad, and he didn't want it, but he encouraged us to practice, to work. Well, he always said, because my brother had really extraordinary academic performance. He was always, the top. He was always number 1 or 2. And I was like a 3 beyond. Sometimes 1 or 2, very rarely, but usually 3 to 10. So of course he was doing much better than me. Yeah, but we tried to save money for my dad because it's hard on him. And so yeah, I found those things we can refer to with Chinese. So let's put it there. So not really that one. I think he was promoted up to there. He was 上士. He was not even a 士官长. I think he was a sergeant. And so he started from private first class, and then corporal for a long time. I remember he was a 下士 for a long time. And it took him years to be in that position and never ever promoted to that, because his education was not, disqualified him. Yeah, so anyway, so he wasn't a greedy person and he tried really hard. But my brother and I, we started to not to make a living, but to get a little extra support, financial support, and have it saved up just in case. So it's a backup in case anything has gone wrong. Yeah, so that probably was only how old? Years, age 7 for year 1 in primary, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you graduate from junior, and no, from primary, and then junior 13, 14. I think it's about my age 14. Then started to work, and then I started to understand the bitterness of working under a group of grown-ups, and because you got no voice, they will not listen to you. You're just a kid. Yeah. You've got to do whatever they say. Yeah, but I learned obedience, but I also learned how to be cooperative, but with still my thinking, my mind, my ideas inside. And because I got my brother sitting next to me, so we could discuss, and that's nothing bad. Yeah, but and so for you and Judy, your parents are not putting this pressure onto you. So have you thought about when you may start?
Well, I actually want to have a part-time job when I was having a summer holiday last year. When I going to, before I go to the college, I want to have a part-time job. But unfortunately that I just no one wants me, because like I do the job for a very short term, and
Mhm.
they want people who can work for them for a long while. So yeah.
And was it pleasant at all? Was it a pleasant experience to you at all? Even it was just a short time last summer?
Well, I didn't get any job actually.
Oh, so you didn't get it. They
Yeah,
wanted
because
you.
no one wants me.
Oh, okay. So I
Yeah.
misunderstood. I thought you did get it. And did you try? Did you have to go through an interview or application?
Yeah,
Or-
actually,
So what kind of jobs were you applying that time?
like being a waitress or clerk of convenience store or restaurant.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, but no, no, not.
So have you thought about why? Was it
Yeah,
no? Was it a direct no, straightforward no, you don't qualify, or there's no news?
actually, like, they just directly told me they don't need any student, because maybe they need, but they want students can work for them for a long time. Like
Oh, I see.
not just only summer, but maybe for 3 or 4 months. A bit,
A longer term.
yeah. So
Ah, well, but you see, at least you still learn something.
yeah.
So because there are so many steps for applying a job, and you actually started it last year, so you could probably sense sometimes people have good luck, they hear something very straight away. Some people get to wait for a long time, and some people get to get through to the final stage and then turn down. Yeah, a lot of times in the UK, my situation was the last. I could always get through to the final stage and then get turned down because I went to the airlines, many airlines here, and I'm qualified cabin crew. I have this attestation, but I don't, that time I didn't have the passport. My passport was still Taiwanese passport. So that simply disqualified me. And that's a sad thing. Yeah, but at least, I learned something. That's the thing I didn't see when I was in Taiwan. And I learned something that's most important thing. Yeah, good. Right. So, and we started from restaurant and then we developed to something else that's very interesting. We talked about meal, and then suddenly we talked about, work. Do you still want to talk about work, or you want to talk about restaurant? We can go back to restaurant if you like.
Again, it is fine either way.
Yeah. Okay. So you're very easygoing.
I am.
Right. So why don't we pick a question here? So there are five. How often do you go to restaurants? What is your favorite restaurant and why? Uh, what do you usually order at a restaurant? What is the restaurant experience like in your country? Have you ever worked in a restaurant? Not this one. If you own the restaurant, what kinds of food would you serve? So it's like the future and the present and the past.
Yeah.
And so which one will you pick?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. Just
Right. So I can pick one for you. I'm quite curious about that one.
yeah. Okay.
If you own a
So yeah. So if I own a restaurant, I think that I would serve the fitness meal nowadays, because the like I think the young people in Taiwan, they becomes more focused on what they have for a meal, like, because Taiwan do have a lot of food, various food, like Thai food, Malaysia food, and
Oh yeah, Thai
and
food, love it.
also yeah, and also fried chicken, bubble milk tea, which people love it really much, but it also causes a lot of like obesity, and also people yeah, but
Oh,
I think like most of people in Taiwan also they have some, I mean, like they don't look really chubby, but they actually have some some kind of problem, like that. So the
like what you
fat
said,
inside of,
cardiovascular disease.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the fat inside of their body is too high, too much.
So high
And
cholesterol, right?
yeah,
Yeah, keep going.
so I think that um maybe provide fitness meal is the best choice if I own a restaurant, because like I just as I say, the food in Taiwan is too many, and some is too oil, Yeah,
Oily.
it's too oil, yeah, oily. So I think like people, especially young people, I think also my mom, she very she is really aware of what she had for a meal. And we actually have a diet like 168断食. So you ingest food for 8 hours, and the other 16 hours you can't have anything. So people
So
become,
it's a proper fasting you're practicing.
yeah, yeah.
You mean she is doing that or you're doing
No,
that?
all of like my sister, my mom, and I, and
So
me.
what's the logic of 1 and a 6 and a 8? I don't quite get it.
So you ingest food for 8 hours. The other 16 hours you can't have anything with content calorie. You can drink water, you can drink tea, except anything with with um with calorie.
Right. Interesting. So when it's usually high calorie means high cholesterol, so no good for your health. And but like bubble milk tea, is that counted
Yeah,
because of milk
no,
or
because of the
tapioca?
bubble.
The okay, yeah, the bubble thing. We call that tapioca. Tapioca，这叫什么东西啊？Tapioca，Tapioca. Tapioca. Well, its own name was tapioca milk tea, but I don't know the name of tapioca. Is that little thing? I think it's the oh, mushu, is it?
Yeah,
Mushu. Mushu. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I didn't know about that. I just know the name is tapioca. Right. So the tapioca balls are high cholesterol.
yeah.
Is it because it's starchy?
1 o'clock.
高淀粉.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, that means and no rice, no bread, no noodles. What else? No steam bun, 包子. All those starchy food, right?
Yeah.
面包、蛋糕、饭、面. Ah, and that means you can't eat anything. Those are men dish, right? Difficult.
You can have it during the 8 hours, but yeah, you can have it after the 8 hours.
And have you tried that for a long time? Your
Yeah,
168 fasting?
yeah.
Mm.
Like last, I think last year I
Started
did,
last year.
yeah, like last year I was almost three um 3 kilogram in a month. Yeah,
So you lost 3 kilos in 3 months, in a month.
yeah,
Right. So that sounds healthy though. It's not like 10 or 20 a month. It looks like a gradual process.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So are you looking for, getting rid of more weight?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like,
Do you mind? I mean, like I think I'm 55, 57. I think maybe I haven't, I'm
yeah,
not weighing myself, so I really don't know. But according to the fat there,
yes.
I think my might be 57 now. And I mean kilos. And how tall are you?
162.
Oh, we're the same height. I'm the same, 162.
Yeah.
And so are
I
you,
am the tallest among my family.
so
Not
you're the
not my
tallest.
dad, not my dad, but my mom and my sister is short, a little bit shorter than me. So
Slightly shorter than you.
Yeah.
So you can proudly announce, I'm the tallest
Yeah.
girl
Yeah.
in my family.
Exactly.
I guess I was too. I'm not sure. Well, I mean the person, not girls, because there's only one girl here. Yeah, and now I'm the shortest in my family. The only three, my husband, my son, and me. My husband is still the tallest, a little bit like this, just like this. That's me. And I'm 162. I think my son is about 172, I guess, about 10 centimeters taller than me. His dad is there 180. So probably he will grow taller soon
Yeah.
because this is a growing age. Yeah. All right, good. So we actually talked about a lot of things. Yeah, so we started from, the repetitive lifestyle as a groundhog every single day for lockdown, and now your summertime. Then we talked about your time in uni. So in another in another 3 years, I would say 2.5 years, then you will be able to, think about your future.
Yeah.
So the path to take is to apply for a foreign school or to fly to work for an airlines. And then we talked about food, restaurant. Then we talked about this, working, and then this. So you want to provide. Hey, we know the name of your restaurant, 168.
Yeah.
People, Taiwanese people like to relate to numbers, don't we? Right?
Mm, right.
104, 1111, 123. Oh, there's a 168 already, right? Job site.
Yeah.
Yeah, or 158or 168, something like that. And you can have your restaurant, 168 fasting restaurant.
Yeah.
And you provide the service, give them the live reminder when 8 hours is finished and say, fasting time begins. Develop an app.
Yeah.
That's a business idea. I have a business mind, you know. Right. Okay, good. It's a nice chat with you. And, if you're tired, it's all right. Go take some rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And no need to force yourself to go to all the lessons. Yeah. I want to make sure that you enjoy it rather than, having to be there. All right.
Okay.
Good. Okay. So I'll see you in my next lesson. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.